Welcome back to Soccer Cards United. You are listening to episode 286 of the greatest soccer card podcast in the world. My name is Jason. That's Enzo. Hello, Enzo. What's on the show today?
Hello, Jason. Today we have the Topps Premier League launch, and we're also going to look at what Panini are doing now that they don't have the Premier League.
Well, that sounds exciting. Let's hear the music. Okay, Enzo, let's start the show today with a set of products, a range of products that came out while we, just after we put the last podcast out, and that is the Topps Premier League. This is the retail. It's in real life and it's on the screen. This is crazy. For the listener, we're seeing double trouble, Topps Premier League.
I just wanted people to have that visual. I know they have it there, but this is literally, both of these are literally on the screen right now.
You're showing us this. Is that the standard starter pack?
Standard starter pack, absolutely, Jason, right here.
Yeah.
And then this is retail Super 10. Is it Super 10? Yeah, Super 10 #3. Whoa, what am I doing? Why do I keep thinking this was not there? And so, before you get into it, I just wanted to say they all look fantastic. From a kind of selling point of view, these products, I don't know, the license it looks fantastic.
From a merchandising point of view, they've got the design right. It jumps out with you if you're in a shop in a retail environment. And this is unlike what we usually talk about on this show. This is what these products are meant to be. We've been through this a few different times, a few different venues, but basically they've skipped match attacks. They're not putting out match attacks product. They're doing an all-in-one. The cards, the Topps Premier League cards are all the same, and it's just about different configurations. There will be Chrome, there will be Merlin and all that stuff. They'll be different products. But the idea is that whether you're collecting hobby boxes of something like a flagship or you're collecting packs of what you would like a match attacks, it's all the one product. So I believe you have a pack there just to give us an idea of what's in a pack of this stuff.
Yeah, so I opened a pack from the L Booster. So again, this is what kids will expect to get and just the general public when you're in shops. 10 cards in a pack, which is actually super important as well, Jason. I remember from us being at Comic-Con, which was back in the day, maybe 2 or 3 years ago, one of the things, we brought a load of sports cards with us, and people were definitely interested in them because they're interested with the licenses and stuff. One of the things that came up time and time again was how many cards are in a pack, because people kind of, at the low end at least, or at the retail end, and the kind of less educated end, 4 cards in a Chrome pack freaks people out.
Yes.
People kind of view value based on number of cards you're getting in a pack. So to have 10 here is clever. But yeah, I think this is 2 packs together, Jason, that I had opened 2 packs.
Right.
Let me see if I can get this. There's a Beast Mode Enzo Fernandez.
Yeah.
A Fulham badge. Little
Fulham
foil
badge.
there. People love a foil.
Okay.
A couple of teammates.
Pro partnership insert, yeah.
That's right. We have some throwbacks, right? Some Jolene Lescott headlines. So I'm trying to find the base design. Sorry, give me a second.
Yeah, a lot of inserts. Obviously on this stuff, which is like the mass market stuff, the hit rates are like the numbered cards and the autographs are super rare. And then in the hobby configuration, there's the base card, Reece James.
There is this like little power thing that everyone's like confused about, but I literally think they just put that there. There's no reason behind it, but I think they literally just put it there so as people that are kind of used to seeing numbers and figures on cards of match attacks just kind of feel a little bit comfortable.
Yep. That's fair enough. A little signal to say this is at least the child or the cousin of a trading card game.
Yeah, and I think it's good because I know like a lot of people collect match attacks but never actually play it, so they never really care about those numbers to begin with. And maybe young kids kind of look at it, and if your power rating is higher, they might want that card more. And when they're trading and swapping and stuff like that, I think it's that kind of element that they've kind of added into it. But just to say as well, the cards are kind of like an on-demand set. I think like they're not paper like flagship would be.
Mm-hmm.
They're kind of like, I feel like you could pour water on it and it would fall off, if that makes sense. They're not like paper. They're kind of like a foily kind of plasticky paper.
Plastic or a wax or something like that.
Yeah.
And you were saying there's a QR code on the back of one of those cards.
Yeah, I said to you offline that each card has its own QR code, which I did scan because I was interested in going like, you're making a mass market product for people kind of to bridge the gap between the hobby, etc., etc. So where's this QR code going to send me, Jason?
Yeah.
And it sends you to a page that just explains parallels, which I think is really good.
That might seem basic to us, but it is absolutely necessary if you don't know what parallel is. I'm just looking at some of the other configurations here that they have. This is a Hall of Fame card. We saw Panini do Premier League Hall of Fame cards when that kind of Hall of Fame was first around. You get 3 of these in one of those Super 10 shows. And then this is an old match attacks design.
Limited edition.
Yeah. So there's all sorts of like little references and stuff for people who have collected traditionally. Match Attacks, they launched this in the Topps Regent Street store last week, and it was quite the who's who of Premier League and Premier League legends. You can see here some magic moments. A young collector will never forget when Rio Ferdinand gave him a card. Stevie G was there. Quite exciting stuff. A big blowout event.
Alan Shearer as well.
Alan Shearer. So this is the kind of stuff that, like, I think in all the years Panini had the Premier League license, I never saw them do an event with any footballer, and you know, and actually get in a room with people who didn't really know what like Premier League Prism was or something, and educate them. So I think that's really good.
I do think like the marketing part of this from Fanatics and Topps is we've just never seen it.
No, we've never seen it.
You know, and the Premier League is the biggest league in the world, blah blah blah. And it's like obviously them having a London store is going to help tremendously.
Yeah,
right? It's a lot easier than kind of being remotely in America with the license. It's a big difference. So, do we think this is going to grow the hobby in UK, Ireland, and Europe? I think it would be impossible not to.
Yep, I think it really will. The pre-order apparently for the pre-order for the hobby version of this, so there is a hobby box of this stuff, and it's pre-order available on the UK site on the, let me double check just for people who are interested. August 18th, so that's Monday. As you're listening to this, just to say, I was going through the checklist and looking at some of the rookies and looking at some stuff, and I noticed that Diogo Jota is on the checklist. Of course, tragically died himself and his brother Andre in a car crash earlier this year. Diogo Jota's on the checklist, and there was apparently a bit of fuss about this. Obviously, Liverpool wouldn't have necessarily been expected him to still be in, so Topps notified, according to this news report I read, Topps notified Liverpool and said this checklist was locked in May. All of the images were locked in May. He's in the new 25-26 kits. All the players are in their new season kits. So Diogo Jota is in this and has autographs, but that was all decided just so people, if people see him on the checklist, he's not in there kind of as a tribute to him or whatever. He's in there because that's what the product had in it. But as part of that, I was going through the checklist. There was an interesting presentation of the checklist here on Topps Ripped, of all places, if you can imagine that. They have all the team badges. There's a team badge there's like a special team badge for the Premier League champions, which is I know Enzo, I remember you saying on this podcast a similar trophy idea for a card, so maybe that's something we might see. Then you have your base cards, and I'll go through the rookies now in a few minutes. Your base cards, big old checklist, some image variations. Declan Rice, Estevao, Rio, and Goma, Savio, and Ahmad have base card variation, base image variations. Generation Now is sort of like the current young stars, not necessarily rookies, but just like who are the young guys that are doing the business. Full Force we've seen, breakthrough ballers, techers. So there's kind of like a whole, like there's definitely a vibe here, very different to the Americanized Panini Premier League product. I feel this is much more in line with like the Premier League as a cultural institution. Yeah. Pro partnership, we saw one of those for in the pack you had for Crystal Palace. Retro threads. So this is legends wearing
old school kits,
which I think is a nice touch. I think if you were designing this product, you kind of just want to put as much stuff in it where people go like, oh yeah. Like that's kind of like where we are in this journey in terms of growing the hobby. It's like just as much interesting stuff that people go, oh, I remember that, remember this. Try and get people reminiscing. Here, Pro Precision, Beast Mode, you showed us, has numbers as well. Headlines. This is actually very similar to a Futera insert called Headliners. Okay. But I won't stoke that fire anymore. And then Chrome Kings is an interest. There are Chrome inserts. So you can, like we've seen in Match Attacks, UEFA Match Attacks, you can hit Chrome cards. That's quite important, I think. I wonder, is there a QR code in the back of those that says this is what Topps Chrome is?
Potentially.
You'll notice, just for example, there, like Christian Norgard, who moved to Arsenal during the summer, is in for Brentford. So this was all done way in advance. Diamond rookies. This is sort of like, would you call that a cracked dice? Not really.
No, not really.
No, not really. Gold Lions. There's literally a million different inserts, a massive checklist. And so therefore you can imagine, because of the massive checklist, the hit rates on the mass market stuff are difficult to hit, like numbered cards and autographs, and low numbered stuff is basically impossible to hit. But in the hobby configuration, for the likes of me or you, if we want to open a box of this stuff and actually get hits, we can buy the hobby box. The mass market stuff is not necessarily for us, which is I'm still struggling to wrap my head
around
the fact that it's all the same product, but you just buy whatever
SKU you want.
Yeah. There's a huge amount of Hall of Fame people. Golden Boot, that's quite cool actually.
Yeah.
Various Golden Boot winners. Okay, we don't have to go through every single insert. I did take the liberty of going through the rookies on the base.
See the relic card there as well, Jason.
Oh, did I? Oh, we did. Look at that. Jeez, I skipped.
Look at that.
Look at that.
Because you have to imagine people that are normally kind of the match attacks gang.
Yes, I saw a relic card, like whatever, yeah. But like, if you had never seen a relic card before, this Zlatan Ibrahimovic will blow your mind.
Look, official memorabilia.
Yeah, that is very cool. Yeah,
I think Look, obviously, like this is not a fantastic listen if you're not looking at the visuals. You're just hearing us mumbling. But this is a very exciting thing if you're talking mass market. Like we're like Ireland. This has me excited for UK Ireland, pretty much. Obviously, it's the Premier League, so it makes sense, right? But it's just like we put it on our website, and only Irish people are able to check out with it. That's we have it just ships to Ireland, doesn't ship anywhere else. So apologies for Europeans and stuff, but like a lot of this stuff is cheaper stuff, right? Because we're doing the retail configurations, which you wouldn't normally have.
Yeah.
So shipping and all breaks down. But
and this launched in the UK and Ireland
exclusively a few weeks early.
Before. Yeah,
exactly. So we're not going to bootleg it everywhere, but it's exciting, and I think although the hit rate of autos I don't think is as long as you might think it is, Jason. I think it is because again this stuff's going to be ripped at such a scale. So many kids are going to end up with autographs. Like I'm excited for the next Dublin Card Show. I think a lot of kids might come up to us being with one of these, probably not on a sleeve or top loader because that's the next level of learning, but being like, I have this limited edition Human Son autograph. What's it worth? Like, and they're going to hold on to it like it's the
I
mean, it's going to be mental.
So much of this stuff gets ripped, but I'm saying those are
I know what you're saying
for an individual ripping them
for sure.
It's not. I mean, obviously they are. I'm not doubting the fact that they are in there and they're in there in some sort of reasonably healthy ratio. But like,
the press release said it was a generous ratio as well. If you remember that.
Oh wow!
Do you remember? It was like literally a one-liner of like they come and like the hit rate.
Yes, yeah. But I mean, I've
no. You're saying in terms of ripping it yourself, etc.
I've heard that before. Like,
oh my.
It is. You mentioned top loaders and sleeves there. Tops were selling these bundled with top loaders and sleeves, which again is something that they didn't do ever with Match Attacks, and Panini didn't do with Adrenaline XL or anything like that. There's no. You might have had binders, or you might have had a special tin or something, or you put them back in one of your collector tins. But the idea that these are things that you should protect just inherently is like this is like, I know there's probably people listening to this in America or people who are like deep into hobby or people, but this is, I'm trying to put myself in the mind of someone who's coming in.
Jason, I didn't see a bundle with the top loaders and sleeves.
Did you know?
No, they bundled lots of different SKUs together, and when you were able to check out, they recommend top loaders and
sleeves. That's what I meant. I didn't mean
it's a bundle option, kind of like add this in.
Yes, frequently bought, you buy it with kind of thing, yeah. But if you go to the debut edition full box, for instance, it says buy it with, and then one of the suggestions is a Fanatics Collectibles starter bundle. So there's various terminology been thrown around here. But obviously, if you went and bought this in like a bookshop like Easton's in Ireland, they're not going to have top loaders and sleeves.
Certainly not.
There, so there's still like a million different ways this stuff is going to be consumed. But I think you're right. We're going to get some mad stuff walking up to us at the Dublin Card Show. I mentioned that I went through some of the rookies on the base checklist. When I say some, I mean basically all of them. So I have loads of notes here. I maybe use 5% of these notes to talk to you now. But
very good.
Would you like to hear all of the rookies that have had a card already, that have their rookie card in this set?
I could be interested to hear the people that don't. But If it's the relative, yeah. Listen, whichever way you want to cut it up and dice it up. Maybe we've been a bit too complimentary so far. So if this is your criticism, let's have it.
Yeah. So I'll just quickly tell you first that on the base checklist there are 41 rookies.
Okay.
And those of them that haven't had cards before, there's only 12 that have had cards before.
Okay.
So we're dealing with about a quarter, just over a quarter. Okay, so Julio Soler, who is a 20-year-old left back for Bournemouth, squad player, his only other appearance is in a Panini Adrenaline XL card from the Argentina League, so that's not much to worry about.
Okay.
There's a very interesting case here. And this is another product that's available on soccercardsunited.com, by the way. Yoon Do Young, who is an 18-year-old winger signed by Brighton and Hove Albion and currently on loan at Excelsior in the Netherlands. He is in K-League Prism 2025.
I wanted to guess that when you said his name, but it was being very careful.
Being conservative. I think that's a good policy to have, to be honest. So he's in K-League Prism 2025 with a rookie card on that. So he has a Prism rookie from Korea. And he has a downtown in that. So if he's a hit, that could be a nice little sleeper, get your PSA 10 to K-League Prism up and at them. And just by the way, on Yoon Do Young, when he signed, the technical director Brighton, David Weir, said, Yoon is widely regarded as one of the best young talents in Asia. We're very pleased he's chosen to become a Brighton and Hove Albion player. Then they shipped him off to the Netherlands. So we'll see. This is an interesting case also for Brighton. Yassin Ayari, who played 22 games with them last season in the Premier League and is a midfielder, defensive midfielder, 21 years old. He already has a Topps card, but it's a national debut card from Euro Road to the Euros Pristine. So we've seen players have rookie cards and then have national debut cards. I'm not going to say it's the first case I've seen of the other way around, but I think it's the first case I remember of the other way around. Which, there's a Greek striker with a Nuremberg sticker from the Bundesliga Spy. Kendry Paez and Estevao. These are kind of the two big rookies in the set, I would say. One of them, Kendry, has a 2024 Copa America Prism card, and Estevao has 2023-24 FIFA Select and Immaculate. Kendry, for anyone who hasn't kept track, is now on loan at Strasbourg for the season. And Estevao is a part of the Chelsea squad after scoring against them at the Club World Cup. So, here's a frustrating one for you, Enzo. And I'm going to stop talking in list form now in a minute because I realize the listeners are probably turning off their radio.
Yeah, my God. This has been a rough 17.
Rio Ngoma, who you may have seen, scored a goal against Athletic Bilbao during preseason. It was a bit of a remember the name moment. He did a knee slide celebration. He's a 16-year-old forward for Liverpool, very highly rated. But he had a Topps Now when he scored in that friendly, and it was like a picture of him doing the celebration. And I just maybe I can get. I don't know if I can get it because. Okay, this is it, right? Wonder Kid scores first goal at Anfield with a rookie logo here, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I just thought, like, why? I realize it's like you put out the Topps Now, but if you've already kind of like made the great move of putting him, because you decided this checklist, if you're Topps, you decided this checklist in the spring, and he's in the upcoming release. Why put a Topps Now rookie out and just like, why not just let the set be like, this is your first chance you can get to get this guy? I don't. That annoyed me when I saw that he had a Topps Now. I mean, I already knew he had a Topps Now. I recognized him from that, but like, I just thought
that's not the worst because it's still the same season, etc., etc.
Well, it says actually on the Topps page, it says 24-25 Topps Now. So I thought that was.
Is that from like this preseason though? Just recently gone.
Just recently gone, but it says on.
Yeah, it's not part of the official new season.
Yeah.
That's probably a disconnect between the Topps Premier League team and the Topps Now team, maybe.
I know. I hope so. I hope that's all.
Do you know the print run on that? Do they have the print run out, or if you have it handy, you don't have to.
Let me see. I just had it open, so I can probably get it again. The print run was 8,991.
Pretty solid.
So yeah, it was in fairness, cool card, full fractor 101, available in parallel. So yeah. Anyway, I'm not going to go through everybody else that had a rookie card. I'll just mention a couple of notables. Joe Bellingham is in as a rookie for Sunderland. He's since been sold to Borussia Dortmund. And has a tops now for his Borussia Dortmund signing, but he's as a rookie in Sunderland for 25-26. He will never play for Sunderland again.
But he'll be a rookie probably in Bundesliga, you'd imagine, and
Champions League as well. Yeah,
cool.
There's a fella that plays. Here's a fun one. There's a fella that plays for Sunderland as well, Mayenda, who's a 20-year-old French striker, and he has a 2022 Leaf Metal XRZ.
Leaf are no joke.
Leaf are no joke. Leaf are scouting it out.
Yeah, Leaf did their job with the XRCs. Remember they had Endrick when he was in diapers.
Luis Guillermo, by the way, who's a winger for West Ham, he's also a former Palmeiras guy, and he also has 23-24 Panini stuff from Palmeiras. If you just go to Palmeiras any given year, apparently, and make a lot of cards, you end up with
you're doing all right.
So amazing stuff. I won't bore you anymore. I will predict some of the rookies that will be in either update sets or the hobby sets that come out through the year. The main one, the big one, I think, will be Max Dowman, who's a 15-year-old English midfielder / winger. Plays on the right, kind of in that like Saka, Nwaneri position. He's 15. He's been playing a lot in preseason. He apparently is really good. He looks good. If you didn't know he was 15, you'd be like, he seems good, but then when you know he's 15, you're like, oh, he's really good. Anyway, he's been described by some people as the best English prospect since Wayne Rooney.
Jason, you haven't said who he plays for yet. Some of the people don't know.
Arsenal. The Arsenal. That's why I mentioned Saka and Nwaneri.
No, I know, but I could. Not everyone can draw those parallels, but with Saka playing there, Jason, how is he going to get into the team? I know Saka is the best player of all time. Don't forget.
I see the EFL Cup at his future. And there's also a player for Brighton called Harry Howell, right? And I was reading about Harry Howell. He's an academy player, sort of hotly tipped, 17. Brighton obviously produced a lot of youngsters, all that stuff. And I was like, he sounds kind of like Jack Hinchelwood, who also plays for Brighton. And it turns out he's Jack Hinchelwood's cousin. So when you hear Harry Howell, you just go, oh yeah, he's a bit like Jack Hinchelwood.
That's right.
So, and there's other stuff there, but I'm not going to bother going.
It's good to have you back, Jason. I feel like it's been a while since you've really dug deep into a set like this. You're ready to go.
I have a lot. There's a lot.
You're ready for the kickoff of the Premier League season tonight.
Yes, I am indeed. Okay, let's take a break because I'm sweating here. Just
put the
going through a list. And we'll be back after this. All right, Enzo. So, as we know, Topps have the Premier League license. As we know, Panini have gotten the EFL license. Panini have been relegated from the Premier League to the EFL. And just some news on the Panini EFL front. For the first time ever, it says the EFL, all 72 clubs will feature in one sticker collection. One single sticker collection for the entire EFL is confirmed. Your club shinies are coming in November for all you EFL heads out there. So how do you feel about that?
I think it's a great move. I think it's a fantastic move. I would love to see a hobby set. I would have to see, like, I don't even know, like, could a Chronicles come out? Could that be a good one?
Chronicles with the Championship, League 1 and League 2. That's unbelievable.
Get me in the boardrooms making decisions.
That's I think a Chronicles would be good. Show.
Hey, do you know what? A Chronicles style, Jason, like a premium Chronicles. How about that? Where it's almost like it's immaculate and it's all the mad stuff, NT, immaculate, eminence, all whatever in a Chronicle style format, kind of a Chronicle premium. Imagine like a bigger box.
Yes, presentation box.
Oh my god. Yeah. Oh my god. And it would just be
EFL fun. Flawless.
That's what I'm saying. It'd be a bit of crack.
That'd be great.
But at the moment, like I don't know if Panini America are involved at all with this.
No.
I might even venture over to their website real quick to see if they appear under licensees. Although we've seen that with the French Ligue, and it hasn't really resulted in anything. But let me have a gander.
Obviously, two big things in this are two big clubs are Wrexham and Birmingham, who are follow great interest at the moment from the US because of Ryan Reynolds and Ryan McElhenney at Wrexham, and then Tom Brady at Birmingham. So that'll be exciting. There's a funny tweet here. Somebody replied to this tweet and said, "Stickers, I thought we was getting trading cards." And then someone else replied, "Fuck me, give them a chance. This is only their first release, mate." which I felt was like, oh yeah, this is in English.
Yeah, people are ready though. People want trade. Like, isn't it crazy to think that there are like a group of people that are like, I was expecting like I want a 101 trading card. It's like it's a different kettle of fish than it used to be, Jason.
It's a different kettle of fish entirely. But Panini are not stopping their Adrenaline XL and all that. They have this, which they usually do anyway, but they have this Panini FIFA 365 Adrenaline XL 2026 dropping. And if you look here, they have autographs. Sorry, they have, oh, that's not getting any bigger. They have autographs and they have a less busy design. Less of a trading card game design as well.
Can you right click that image and open a new tab maybe?
Let me see.
So I'm curious here. I can't see it.
Oh, hang on a sec. Oh, well, this is.
Listen, Jason, you learn every day. Every day's a school day. Let me tell you.
Certainly when you do a podcast like this.
Yeah. To go from zooming in to what we're about to see, I think is about, yeah, exactly. Very nice.
Yeah.
Love it.
So you've got very minor numbering at just the bottom right-hand corner of the card. You've got autographs. You've got parallel cards.
Will you find a numbered parallel or a real autograph card? Because they're so used to using the Facilme Auto. So they're calling it real autograph card. That's brilliant.
I was having a conversation with someone recently about what I did for a living. And
here we go.
And they said, right, yeah, but they're not real autographs. Like, and I said, yeah, they are, yeah. And then they said, no, I know they are. Like, I know they're the real autograph, but like the player didn't sign it. And I'm like, no, they did, yeah. And then it just went like on like that for about 5 minutes. And then they're like, wait a second. The player actually signs the card. I was like, yeah, or they sign stickers and the stickers go there, but they're like, the player themselves does it. And I'm like, yeah, they're like, that's dead. They're like, why haven't I heard about that? And I was like, I don't know. I do a podcast about it.
I'm doing my best. But Jason, I think the most interesting thing about this, apart from the continuation of Adrenaline XL, that the Adrenaline XL brand was so strong they couldn't scrap it. I like that chuckle. But that the FIFA license, they're leaning into that. They said we've lost Premier League. We've taken up EFL, which I think is very clever in their UK Irish market.
Yeah,
but they're saying they basically said what we've always said is like the FIFA license seems like a complete or unicorn license. Just use that all day, every day, all the time, and it looks like they might be using that approach.
Absolutely. You see in this, you see like Argentina, Spain, AC Milan, England, and Bayer Leverkusen.
If you have a license that can do all that,
you're fine. You never needed the Premier League in the first place.
Yeah, you're having a good time.
So that is an interesting one. So they're doing the EFL sticker collection. Presumably we'll have trading cards to follow, because in the original press release they mentioned that there was going to be trading cards.
Which could be Adrenaline XL. They could call that trading cards, right?
This is true. Absolutely, yeah. But if it is Adrenaline XL, they're still, like Topps now, promoting the idea of numbered parallels and of autograph cards. And then they're still, over at Panini America, they're still doing their what they do best, which is their hobby collections. This is Obsidian International, which comes out today, actually, as we record. Which I'm only bringing up because there's a couple of parallels that are nice. There's a Jade parallel there.
Oh yeah, is that like a Jade Flood, or is it just Jade? Like what? Looks like
a flood. I think it is a flood design. I think it's called Imperial Jade, which is real nice, a full color kind of parallel. And then they have this, which is a Mexican style of pottery called, what did Panini say it's called? Talavera. Talavera. So a bit like when Topps did Filetiado, they've once again taken a Latin American art style and have applied it to a beautiful trading card. So, Panini are down but not out. That's all I wanted to say by that segment. All right, I have some other bits to talk about from around the hobby after this. Okay, we're back. On Topps.com, did you see this, Enzo, about the checklists on Topps.com?
No.
There's a new way to display checklists on Topps.com. Not on the European sites, but on the USA site. If you now ask for the checklist, instead of bringing you to a PDF, that you have to just kind of Control F the checklist, you can get this sort of interactive checklist.
Kind of like Panini's one?
Kind of like, I think, basically inspired by Panini's one, but like a lot of things that Topps do, it's actually better than Panini's one, even though Panini had the idea first.
Yeah, this one works.
This one works. And the best thing about it is it has filters by team. So this is for Baseball Chrome. So by team, by subset, or by designation. So you can just go rookies. There you go. There's all the rookies. And when I saw this, I was like, all of the hours of dead air that we've spent on this podcast over the years, going through like PDFs or trying to see different things or whatever. This is great. And just a little shout out there for Tops on that, and to ask the Tops Europe web designers who may be listening to get that integrated pronto.
Yeah, that's cool
for us. Also, still on Tops, just to mention that Hyun-Min Son got his very special Tops Now card for signing for the LAFC.
If you see there, Jason, as well, in that image just above the Adidas logo, he had a debut patch on his kit as well. So we can expect to see that in an upcoming product.
Yeah, this is like, yeah. So what is this patch then?
It's just an MLS patch from
logo.
His yeah, the
patch.
MLS logo.
Right, okay.
It's just a nice patch as opposed to his debut patch.
Yes. This actually, don't look, this is for the match used ball. It's from the ball from the game.
Sorry.
Right. So that's, I think Hyun-Min Son going to LAFC is a big deal. Much more. I know Olivier Giroud went there and had an absolute rotten time because he just couldn't adapt to it at all. He's now back at Lille, back in France, and scoring goals, back in his natural habitat.
But like, when you go, if you're like a high class player and you go to the MLS, for the most part, you kind of need to be someone that can make stuff happen fully on your own.
Yes.
As opposed to relying on teammates, because in many cases the teammates are no good. So if you're a Giovinco or if you're a Messi or if you are Hyun-Min Son, I would imagine you're going to have a good time of it.
Or Wayne Rooney when he did that solo goal for DC United.
And that was a solo assist, wasn't it? Or are you talking about
solo assist, yeah.
Zlatan, like Zlatan was a lot better than I thought he was going to be when he went there. But yeah, for the most part, like sometimes good goal scorers can be good there, but in most cases you need some legs or you need severe technical ability on the ball as opposed to being a big poacher. That's getting bad service all the time. How are you going to score, you know?
Yeah, you're used to getting passed by like, you know, Griezmann and Ozil and stuff, and now all of a sudden you've got Ryan Hollingshead. Ashton corners in it, yeah. So I also think that Hyun-Min Son is such a personality and such a brand globally that like because I saw there was a thing, he's agreed to like, you know, throw out the first pitch at baseball games and throw in the ball at the NBA All-Star game and all this kind of stuff. And there was a lot of stuff that people thought Messi would do when he arrived at MLS, not realizing that Messi is extremely shy and, you know, he'll do loads of TV ads because that's loads of money, but he won't necessarily just be out in public for free all the time. Sonny is a super social guy by all accounts, so that's exciting.
I think it's good, yeah.
And then the last thing I have on the running order, Enzo,
yes,
is from Rich Mueller, our old friend at Sports Collectors Daily, to take us through some new seller tools being introduced by eBay in the States.
Okay.
So I'll just read from Rich Mueller's brilliant copy here. Why change? What's
been a minute?
Broken? It has been a minute. Yeah, he hasn't been. The team is expanding over there at Sports Collectors Daily, and he's delegating a lot more of the stories. But this, you couldn't miss this. Okay, eBay buyers and sellers will soon be able to negotiate item prices through eBay's messaging feature. The company announced a suite of new seller tools this week, including offers in messaging, which enable buyers and sellers to communicate offers and counter offers directly within their messaging threads. Users can receive, send, receive, counter, and accept offers without leaving the conversation, all with all interactions tracked in one place. The feature is currently rolling out in the US to facilitate faster, more efficient negotiations. I think that's a kind of no-brainer and really, really good. Yeah. So for anyone who doesn't know, I don't know how you wouldn't know, but if you don't know, at the moment you have to, if you're chatting with someone on eBay and you say, okay, can I offer, 400? And they say, yeah, okay, you have to exit the messaging thing, go in, make an offer, all this stuff. Also announced that this is something that I'm really excited about because I hate leaving feedback on eBay. Because I'm not a good member. I'm not a good eBay community member, but they've announced an automated feedback option. So in September, they launched in September, US sellers using tracked shipping, the option will automatically leave positive feedback for sellers who deliver on time but no reported issues in cases where buyers do not submit feedback. So that, like for me as a buyer, if you give me a tracking number and it arrives and I have no problems, eBay always send me, it was like, you never have feedback. And I'm like, but nothing was wrong. It came on time and it's all.
You meant to say that was great. Well, no, it's an effort to do it, in fairness.
It's an effort to go back. So, and as a seller, it's like, well, if he got it and there was no complaints,
give me my rating.
It's a simple way to ensure sellers' reliability and professionalism are reflected publicly, even when buyers stay quiet. The company stated.
That's you. Because I'm thinking about this from a selling point of view. The amount of things that are delivered and we just never get the feedback is devastating.
Yeah. So, like, think about what your seller score would be on the Soccer United eBay store. You know, additional protection for sellers whose items are reported as not received. So, this is also as a seller, right? A major pain point for our sellers happens when delivery delays lead to an item not received, claims, and unexpected refunds, only for the item to arrive days later, the company stated. Starting in October, eBay will introduce a new improvement to enhance trust and reduce friction from these premature INR claims. If a seller ships on time with eBay labels and tracked shipping, and tracking shows that the item is delivered after a refund is issued, eBay will reimburse the seller for the item cost and remove any negative or neutral feedback left as a result of the delayed delivery. This ensures sellers aren't penalized for delays outside their control and reinforces our commitment to standing behind sellers who do the right thing. That's, I mean, I feel like eBay are like, they're coming to play. They're like getting back in.
Because if you think about it, like eBay definitely look at all of their data, right? Like if you think from our point of view, from like what we sell, I would imagine 1 or 2% is item not received. Do you know what I mean? They obviously they're looking at the revenue on a year of a business.
Yeah.
And they're like, right, we can actually eat that 1 or 2% on the times where someone has to refund it, and then it's it's like such an easy thing.
Yeah.
And they're obviously making just a move in general to capture sports card market, all the other markets, of course, but we're obviously going to focus on that. And with eBay Live on the agenda too, I think they want eBay as lit as they possibly can be that way, because they do both go in tandem with one another. So that's very logical, makes sense, and it's a big play.
Yeah, I think if you're a Fanatics Collect or whatnot or something like that, you're not necessarily delighted to see eBay still coming at you after all the. I feel like it took eBay maybe a little while to do it, but they're getting back involved now. They've also announced additional tools such as an AI-powered messaging assistant, a track your costs feature, and an inventory mapping API aimed at sellers who have large inventories. With just a few inputs like images, product identifiers, and catalog aspects, the API generates optimized titles, item-specific descriptions, and more. eBay stated the tool will begin to roll out to select US sellers in the coming weeks. So my plea to eBay is start getting some of these great tools that you have in the US to your European eBay customers, because we're dying out here.
Yeah, please.
There's a lot of good stuff you can do on eBay US that you can't do.
Certainly.
It hurts.
A lot.
It hurts a lot. It stings. Right. Have you got any other business?
And now, gentlemen, is there any other business?
Yeah, just apart from the Messi market being on absolute fire, but I'm not sure how much we can add to that conversation. I think a gold prism PSA 10 from 2014 Messi also sold for over $1 million recently in a private sale. The couple of sales of a Mundi Chromo PSA 10 at $50,000. The previous comp I think was 25 or 30.
Yeah.
So just the Messi market is the Messi market rocket ship has kind of taken off, and if you're not on it, I don't even know if I'd recommend getting on it now. I think it's one of those.
The train has left the station.
A little bit. It took a very, very long time to do it, but it does make sense.
Yeah.
And the market in general, I think, is on fire. That there's been like the sports card market is on fire in general. I think the high end single card market is mental, and yeah, I've seen a lot of stories of like, is this a bubble? Is this kind of 2021 all over again? Is this here to stay? Is it not? There's been all sorts going on. But all I can say is I think it's good. It's a good vibe at the moment. If you're selling cards, if you're buying cards, in some cases, the train has left the station, etc., etc. But I'm seeing big sales every single day. I don't know, Jason. I'll take this offline with you. Did you see the 101 Italy?
I did. Yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Say no more.
Yeah.
Say no more. There you go.
All right. So I actually we will have some upcoming Casual Fridays guests to talk about these various market stories that are coming on, that are developing. So that'll be good as well, and we'll try and develop a bit of a conversation, because you're right, the high end sales are becoming more and more consistent and higher. So that's kind of, I feel like it's something that's relatively new to us in soccer in terms of like consistent jumps in price and consistent kind of high end sales momentum to a market. So we need to try and get the grips with that, because we're more comfortable talking about bloody Adrenaline XL.
That's right. Crypto's booming. The hobby high end is booming. It's all kind of related. There's definitely a market. The market is very strong in general. Like, I mean, global markets, apart from tariffs and stuff like that, there's various global trade wars going on, wars going on, etc., etc. But the hobby is definitely seeing a lot of benefit in the mix of all this. We've seen it before where kind of global catastrophe doesn't necessarily weaken the sports card market. It tends to increase it.
Yes.
And that's kind of where we're at now. I'm sure that we might be experiencing some peaks and some highs at the moment, like local peaks, local highs. That definitely, it could go back down. But at the moment, it is very 2021 vibey, but with a lot more education in the back end. I'm not seeing base cards getting pumped and all that sort of stuff happening. It genuinely seems to be a more educated cohort of people that kind of know what they're doing. But we're seeing a lot of stuff that sales in February or March that are now happening in July or August are double or triple in some cases of cards across the board and across sports.
Yeah, it's happening in months, not years, kind of thing. Which is interesting. Yeah, I think there's. Yeah, I mean, we don't have time to get into the whole. I'm not, need to take stock of the entire market, but things are very, very different than when we started this podcast. Let's just say that, and it's almost like I think, we'll have in terms of covering it. Sometimes we'll be talking about the high ends of the messy markets, and then sometimes we'll be talking about is this a good, is this good value for €3 to buy this pack in your local convenience store if it's a mass market product, and that's the magic of stock cards. That's the magic of the hobby, I think. So, yeah.
Listen, the train is in full steam ahead as we slowly get towards the 2026 World Cup. We're pretty much.
I thought you were going to say the 2026 Dublin Card Show.
No, 2026 World Cup, Jason, is going to be a big event next summer.
Yeah.
And there's definitely some plays being made now, I think, in the lead up to that event. But make no mistake, regardless of, I don't know where the market will be when the World Cup happens. Will it be at a peak? Will the peak happen prior to it?
Yes.
The main thing they're going to say with the World Cup is that the effects of it will be happening in the many years after the event takes place. So hopefully that is going to be a blockbuster event when it does come. But we know one thing will be a blockbuster event, Jason. That is the Dublin Card Show, which will happen in February prior to the World Cup, of course. So there'll be a lot of will that be the peak of the market? Will you have to be a mover and shaker there in Dublin?
Could be. A lot of interest in the DMs. A lot of interest in the DMs. So,
a lot of US.
That's what
making their way over. It's going to be a bit mental, Jason. I cannot lie. Tables are just about sold out, by the way.
Yes, that's right. And some notables have come on board in the last week or so. So get yourself there. Get your tickets booked.
Together.
Right, Enzo. In the meantime, have a good weekend, and we will talk to all these fine folks next week for episode 287. See you then.